In this video, we're going to look at how you create a meeting room in Adobe Connect. So to get us started, I've already opened up Adobe Connect on the back end here. So you can see that I have all my higher level menu options at the top of the screen. I'm going to click on that Meetings tab. And under the Meetings tab, you'll find a list of your existing meetings. And then if you want to create a new meeting, it's as easy as coming over here and clicking on this New Meeting button. So once I do that, a page opens up and I can enter all the details of my meeting room. Now, one of the things to keep in mind is that meetings are different than events in Adobe Connect. You can create events, and events are one-off events, things that occur just on one occasion. But here, we're creating a room that can be used on a recurring basis. So these meeting rooms, even though I'm setting it up and maybe I'm planning to use it next week, you know, if we have recurring meetings for our group, we can continue to go back to that room and use the same URL over and over and over again. So it's really a room that can be used on a series of occasions. So I'm going to create a meeting room here for our commodity management task force. And it's something that they can use for their meetings on a regular basis. You can enter a custom URL. You don't have to, but I encourage you to do it because it just makes it easier to remember the name of your URL whenever you're trying to get back into the room. Summary is optional. I'm not going to enter that because I don't think it's that important. No start time or duration for me. Who cares? Shared template. I'm going to just keep the default template that it's got there. My language is English. In terms of access, I want to make sure that anybody who has the URL for this room can enter. If I were to select one of these first two options, then it would limit access to people who have an Adobe Connect account, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to create it as an open option so that anyone who has the URL for the meeting can enter the room. And then lastly, what you're doing is you're looking at your audio conference settings. There's two real options that we use here. One is to connect to our conference call line, and that can be useful for some situations. Now, you can't do that with any conference call line. You need to have a special compatibility, a special line that's compatible with Adobe Connect. So those free conference call numbers normally don't work. I tend to not like to use the conference line. I tend to like to use voice over internet, and there's two reasons for that. One, it allows me to have better control over the microphone rights of participants. So if somebody's microphone is, you know, they've got it unmuted and they're making noise, I can mute them. And then second, people can fully participate in the breakouts feature of Adobe Connect if they're using voice over internet protocol, but not with the conference line. So I like to select this one. I'm going to select it for this meeting. Both of these audio options are covered in other videos. But that's really all you need to do to set up your meeting. And you're going to click you really don't need to click next because there's no other screens that are useful for us. I'm just going to click finish here. And you can see that it's created my meeting room. I've got a URL up on the screen. If I wanted to, I could click on this URL right now, and it'll take me right into that room so that I can go start to explore and start to set up my meeting in the back end of Adobe Connect. So that's really it. That's how you set up your meeting. Check out our other videos to get a little deeper into Adobe Connect.